And welcome into the most interactive sports Facebook/entertainment show in the history of Facebook for ABC 13 in Houston with two guys that are fun. Raheel Ramzali, David Nuno in the house. Hello, Heezy.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm super excited about the show, especially our guests today. We got a packed house. It's going to be a great show. We're talking inspirations today, and our guest, Ryan Shazier, here in a moment, a huge inspiration to anyone who's played athletics, who follows the NFL. We all know his story. We're going to talk to him and his trainer, Jerome Howard. Courtney Fischer, who was out there hurricane hunting during Hurricane Laura. I believe she was in the Beaumont area for a lot of it. So we're going to talk with her. And we've got some news with the Astros. COVID-19 strikes again, the protest, and all of the world of sports, and obviously the passing of Chadwick Boseman. A lot of stuff to get into, Raheel.
Absolutely. It's going to be an emotional show. You and I have been texting since Friday night, since we found out the incredibly sad news. But, you know, one of the things I want to hit on later on in the show is we have to normalize the fact that we need to celebrate people while they are alive. You know, like the outpouring of love and the great stories we saw that Chadwick was doing while he was fighting and battling cancer. We should have made those trend when he was alive. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I want to talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But man, it's going to be a great show today, and I can't wait to talk to everyone.
Well, hey, you know, Raheel, you warn me every show not to read the comments, but I like to read the comments because people are rude, and I like to be rude back. Sports are back, or sports talk? Yeah, sports are canceled. No, they're not. No, they're not. There's a message that people are trying to push. If you disagree with the message, you're probably not listening to what they're trying to say. Yeah. But I understand everyone's got an opinion. But we're going to do what we do, which is have fun, talk sports, little news, superhero talk as well. Unfortunately, the bad news that we talked about. But Raheel, let's start off with our huge guest today, because we had the privilege of talking to Jerome Howard, a new trainer here in the Houston area, works with a lot of great athletes. And one of his guys is Ryan Shazier. And we all know his story. They're both joining us here to talk a little bit about Ryan's journey after that very scary accident. Was it, Ryan, back in 2017? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So I guess we'll just start things off. I know most of us know your story, but if you can just kind of give us a brief version of what happened and how you linked up with Jerome, because I think your relationship with him goes from beyond that.
So me and Jerome, we actually were best friends since high school, and he was my trainer even before I got hurt. What's kind of crazy is the game I got hurt, Jerome was up here, and that's actually the only away game he actually ever been to. So it was kind of crazy because he was at that game. But you know, it was a Monday night football game. I made a routine tackle and I had a spinal cord injury, and you know, I just been recovering ever since.
Jerome, how tough is that, you know, when you are working with not only somebody that you know from high school, but somebody that means so much to you, and they go through something like that, and it's a battle, right? Like, it's not something that's going to correct itself or get better overnight. It takes a lot of incremental steps. How hard is that as a trainer to keep that in mind, and also keep Ryan, you know, focused on that as well?
I mean, it's extremely hard just because you're now forced to wear so many hats. You're already wearing 2 or 3 hats, being his best friend, his trainer. Now, and sometimes you're more of a shoulder to lean on. You're assessing his mental, his physical, his emotional, and then alongside you have to learn new skills such as empathy or trying to sympathize, because with his injury.
The greatest musician of all time. Looks like we lost Jerome for a second. We'll try to get him back here in a second. So Ryan, take me through your thought process. You're injured. You start working hard. Like, at what point did you feel like, all right, my life is going to get back to somewhat normal?
You know, I always felt that way. You know, me and Jerome just constantly just kept trying to stay focused, and then just kept rehabbing. We always thought, you know, any type of rehab is the way to get back to some type of normalcy. So I always felt that way. So the moment I got hurt, I just like, hey, man, I'm going to have to rehab to try to get better.
And Jerome, what was the plan? Like, when you have somebody like Ryan who's like, let's do this, you know what? We're going to get right back at this. We're going to make this work. And I don't know. It looks like we lost Jerome again, so I'm gonna take him out, and hopefully he can rejoin us here in a second. So Ryan, I'll ask you that question. You know, when you're so used to going through these gruesome, brutal workouts. I mean, you were just grinding it out. We've seen all of our NFL friends just put in that work, and then to rebuild it and go, okay, we're gonna have to go a little bit slower. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to get this back and focus on that. How tough was that of an adjustment for you in terms of the workouts?
It gets frustrating. It gets frustrating,
Sorry,
because when it comes to just working out, sometimes when you're rehabbing, you can't do the same workouts that you used to do before. So it just gets frustrating and just actually breaking it down. But, Jerome, he made it a lot easier, especially being somebody I know, but just being a great trainer himself. He just understood how to relate with me and understand the pain I was going through, even though he didn't deal with it. And I think that really allowed me to get better, because when I had those bad days or those days when things were really frustrating, he'll know just what to say, just what to do to try to help me feel better.
I'm going to ask this to both of you guys, and Jerome, if you can start. What is it like to work with not only your best friend, but an inspiration? Today's topic is about inspiration. This guy's an inspiration for athletes, kids around the world. The way he battled, the way he fought, and the injury that he went through, how gruesome it was. How is that to see, like, this is my guy, but like people really look up to him?
It's inspiring for me as well. I kind of give him a hard time a lot, which is I intentionally do that, but it's very inspiring for me as well. I celebrate and I brag about him a lot to everyone else, but not to himself. But as you mentioned, his story, his demeanor, I'm a huge advocate that success leaves clues. So if you watch Ryan's fortitude, his mental, the way he attacks his day, his training, all aspects of life, it's inspiring for me as well to not only be a part of that, but to also learn, take nuggets and take things from his arena, being an athletic realm, to my arena and my profession. So it's also inspiring as well. Our motto, Ryan and I, we believe that iron sharpens iron. So it's definitely inspiring, encouraging, and motivating for me as well to be able to take nuggets from him and apply it to my life to get better.
And I'll follow that up with you, Ryan. Just the fact that you are an inspiration, how much does that fuel how you went about your work, knowing that other people are watching what you do and taking that?
That was something that was very important to me, something that really helped me out a lot. A lot of times I can just feel people's energy, and just, when I go through, the city, or go somewhere, people will say, hey, man, I constantly look up to you. I constantly hope for your success. And, when you have people that are just hoping that you do well, it only makes you want to do well yourself. So it really means a lot just to be able to have somebody, be able to be somebody that people can look up to for inspiration, because they're going through a hard time and they see that I'm overcoming something that a lot of people didn't expect. So it's truly amazing, So I'm thankful sometimes to be able to inspire others.
Ryan, how important is it to set goals when you are in a marathon like this, when you are trying to accomplish something as an athlete? You always have timelines and goals. Like, I want to be ready for this period. I want to peak at this time, all of that. How important was it to have goals? Like when we saw updates from you where you were jogging with the team, dancing at your wedding, stuff like that. Were those goals that you and Jerome had laid out, or are those just, organically something that happened?
The biggest thing with marathons is that, when you set goals, sometimes they might not be as soon as you want them to, so you have to just be able to adjust your goals and be able to be accustomed to the marathon that you're in, because a lot of times people want a goal or want something faster than it actually takes. Like, for instance, my wife just got me a guitar, and I was looking at guitar lessons, and everybody want to know how to play a guitar the first day. But, Sometimes it takes a while to actually get where you want to get. So, and that's the same thing with, like, my injury. Sometimes you just set a goal and you're getting closer to that goal, but it might not be there in the time limit that you wanted to. So you just have to adjust your goals. And Jerome was actually a big component of that.
Hold on, Ryan. I gotta ask you, if you got the guitar, what's your ideal song? Like, you're like, okay, at the end of this, I want to be able to play this song, because I'm starting to learn the piano, and like, to me, I want to be able to be at a setting where we just see a grand piano and I just bust out Coldplay's The Scientist, and people are like, wow, this is incredible. So what's your ultimate goal on the guitar?
So my goal is Good As You by Kane Brown.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I like that song a lot. So I told my wife, God might, wanted me to get hurt to become a country artist.
This dude.
No, I just mess it. Like the thing is, I feel like that's another big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to always try to find a good sense of humor or just positivity in what you're going through. Because a lot of times people, they're going through a stressful situation and allow that to down them. And I felt I wanted to be myself and kind of always enjoy life no matter what I'm dealing with. And I feel like that was another reason I was able to constantly get through a lot of the frustration and pains I was going through too.
Hey, Jerome, what's your methodology with players? And just two-part question: like how you get them to where they want to go, and also why Houston? Why did you relocate here?
Well, I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, and I love the sun. And in Pittsburgh, I found myself traveling half the year for training pro guys alongside of Ryan and numerous others as well, from the NASCAR drivers, preparing them for the Daytona 500, doing stuff with the Nike opening, and the story goes on. And I just wanted to return back to the heat. Pittsburgh is fine, but I'm a coward when it comes to the snow. So I wanted to come back to the heat. And myself being an alumni of Prairie View A&M University, I've always loved Houston from that experience, with Prairie View being on the outskirts, about 35 to 45 minutes from Houston.
And then your methodology, you're just how you take an athlete from one level to the next.
So all athletes, the first thing we do is we schedule a comprehensive assessment, and that lets me get a true feel of where they are, where their goals, their general readiness. I assess their physical, their mental, their emotional, and from there I'm able to customize the plan, which is tailored to each athlete and their individual needs. And with that plan now bridges the gap from where they are to where they want to be. So everything starts with the comprehensive assessment. And I just get a true basis of where they are, and everything is tailored then moving forward.
That's awesome, man. And it's, in today's age where there's a lot of trainers that are just there for Instagram, it seems like, and they're just trying to, trend and, become popular. It's good to know that, like, the technical side and assessing things is still alive with trainers, because I know that's a big part of it now, where trainers are they're just there to be there, and they're the story and not their athletes.
It's not just trainers.
Yeah. Unfortunately. So I love pro boxer Bernard Hopkins, and one thing that he spoke about in one of his videos was he spoke about this about a decade ago. He said there's far too many trainers and not enough teachers. And when it comes to the body and teaching my clients the correct way to move and things of that sort, I'm big onto education. There's a lot of things. Ryan can probably put you guys through a training assessment himself right now, just from the skills and assets and the things that I've taught him over the years. So once again, I take pride in being more of a teacher than a trainer. I think, as you mentioned, everything is about clout nowadays and just being associated with certain guys. My motto with that is I believe in impact over clout. I want to be able to impact and help my clients move better, feel better, lose fat, reduce pain, and achieve goals they once viewed as unattainable. That's what I consider impact, not just clout and being associated with a guy with a blue check or someone with a huge social media following.
A couple things. First off, no, I don't play the piano. Crystal in the chat asking me, no, I don't play anything. All right, I beatbox a little bit, not so good. When did our chat become so political? Everything's about Biden and Trump and just the movements. Like, goodness, this is a sports show, guys.
Right.
The topic of today, though, is about inspirations, right? Chadwick Boseman's passing on Friday. Obviously, Kobe Bryant early in the year. There's been a lot of passings recently. Lute Olson in Arizona over the weekend as well. So I'm going to ask both of you our topic of the day. Just somebody in your lifetime, sports or entertainment, that has been that inspiration for you.
For me, I would have to go with LeBron James. And I think what inspires me most about LeBron James is I was a kid who also grew up in the inner city, not of Akron like LeBron, but I grew up in the inner city of Fort Lauderdale. But what I loved is how LeBron leveraged his platform and put himself to be in a great position, not only for athletics, but post-athletic career, because all athletes are going to be more of regular people, as they would like to call it, not athletes, longer than they'll actually be athletes. So I love what LeBron has done. I think for somebody who overcame the trials and tribulations he's had growing up and done phenomenal things, I think he's an awesome role model, mentor. He seems to be, I don't know him personally, but he seems to be a great husband as well. I think those are the attributes and things that I would want to apply to my life. So LeBron will be someone that comes to mind when I think about those things.
And Ryan, somebody for you who's been inspirational or just an athlete that you kind of looked up to that's just that guy?
Jerome would tell you, man, I'm like a bandwagon. I jump on board with a lot of different people. I definitely love LeBron. I love everything that he's doing. Another person I like a lot is Michael Strahan. More recently, especially because I just love how he's using his platform from the NFL to be one of the biggest, broadcasters or TV personalities in the world right now. And I just think that's kind of cool because he's knowledgeable about what he does, but he's also was a great athlete, and people respect that. Another guy that I really kind of I'm about to start looking into more now is Mr. Wright, the guy who just became the president of the Redskins. I think that's just something really powerful. Just to be the first Black president in the NFL. They don't have any of those. And another thing that's kind of cool to me is that he actually played NFL football. So it shows you that you can transition from playing sports to being something that you want to be. And it shows kids nowadays that, hey, you don't just have to play a sport. You can play a sport and still do this, or you can go whatever direction you choose to go. So people like that are really inspiring to me because they allow me to really just open up my mind and think about different places that I can achieve.
Man, that's awesome to hear. That's what it's about, man. Like, it's not just sports defining who you are, or you being an athletic trainer defining who you are. We're more than just one thing, Like, everyone else gets a benefit of the doubt that your career is not you, right? Like, everyone says that. But then when it comes to sports and when it comes to entertainment, it's like, well, that's you. Hey, that's everything that defines you. It's like, that's not fair at all. So it's awesome to hear that. Ryan, what's next for you, by the way?
I'm in the process of doing a few things right now. I'm finishing I'm in the process of opening a foundation. We're just finishing the final steps with people with spinal cord injuries, and I'm just taking my time. It's just I have a few things that's in the mix, but they're not 100% yet. So I just don't want to tell you. But
okay.
But not that I don't want to tell you. I just don't want to say something and it doesn't happen. So. But I'm just really excited. I feel like the future has a lot in store, and I'm just trusting God and just taking it one day at a time.
Ryan, one last thing for you. I don't want to get too personal, but how has COVID-19 changed your world? Because I understand that it's been a challenge.
Oh yeah, COVID's definitely been crazy for me because normally I'll be around the team a lot and I'll be able to work out a lot more at a facility and things like that. With COVID, it's kind of hard for me to be around the team as much as I used to be, in the facility as much as I used to be, because they have essential people and certain rules the NFL has that doesn't allow as many people around the facility. So it's kind of hard for me not being around the guys that I used to be around every day. But it's another good thing for me because it's allowing me to get close to my family and actually just get closer to my kids and get better at the video game. So
love it, man. Yeah. Love it, man.
Well, we're going to be linking up with Jerome here soon. Raheel, I don't know if I told you, but Jerome says he's going to put us through a workout. We're going to put it online at some point when it's safe to go out and show that if we got some NFL stuff, maybe we can share it with Ryan so he can see how much of an athlete these TV guys in Houston are.
All right.
For sure, man. Ryan has to break down our technique and form as well, and then we'll see what happens, man. Ryan, thank you so much, man. Best of luck and continue to be an inspiration to everyone. Jerome, thank you, man. And really excited to link up with both of you guys. Jerome, take it easy on Ryan in the pool workouts. I was watching some of that footage there, man. You got to enjoy the pool a little bit. I'm down with the pool workout, but man,
hey,
you got to read the full caption.
Hey, yep. My parents always told me, do what you have to do to do what you want to do. So we have to work hard first, then we can play.
Love it. Yep. Love it. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time. That's good stuff there. Ryan and Jerome here joining the show. Good stuff. And look, man, that's an inspirational story. I thought it was perfect for we're all challenged this weekend. COVID-19, the protests, where America is socially, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, so many things. And I think Ryan is such an inspiration for how he battled. And Jerome, who was his best friend, who got him, helped him get through all of that. So I really appreciated their time. We're going to follow up with Jerome here in the future. Raheel, we're going to have Courtney Fischer joining the show here in a moment. In the meantime, I kind of want to go over this weekend because 2020 has been such a polarizing year on multiple levels. COVID-19, the death of COVID. There's so many things. This election, the social issues that we're facing. And it was just like another left hook, none of us know Chadwick Boseman in person, right? But we felt like we know him from our affiliation with superhero movies. I have not seen the Jackie Robinson movie. That's what we're watching this weekend. Like it's supposed to be phenomenal, right?
It's so good, man. I can't believe you haven't watched it yet. It's so well done, obviously. And for Chadwick Boseman, he never backed down from a role, which was important, right? Like it's hard to do portrayals of people that the world already knows, right? You're going to get graded on a different scale. Obviously, Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall. I mean, he just took on every role possible that could be critical, right? Like people are just going to criticize you so much if you didn't do it right. And then with the Black Panther, that movie, although just a comic book movie, it meant so much more in terms of representation, right? This was the first time that that minorities and black kids had somebody to look up to and go, look, like this is for us, right? And the way it played out, the way he took that role and made it more than just a role, like it was a lifestyle, and it was just amazing. He never backed down from a challenge. And then when you find out, the sad news, he was dealing with cancer during all of this, right? In 2016, he was diagnosed with it. He started filming the Black Panther, the movie. And now he was already playing that role in the Avengers and he was in Civil War. But to take on that whole movie role, David, you put in 5-hour grueling sessions, fight choreography, the filming of the movie itself, all while battling colon cancer. That's superhero stuff, man.
I want to touch on something that Ryan said earlier, and it kind of touches on everything, right? So COVID-19 has allowed him to spend more time with our family. This 2020 year has been grueling for all of us, right? It's been a different kind of year. The one true highlight of the year has been those moments at home. I've been able to anchor from home quite a bit, Raheel. You've been at home quite a bit as well. And Chadwick's death kind of is why those moments are so cherished, right? You're not promised tomorrow. And if there's been one good thing out of 2020, it's been that. I'll tell you what was not good for the east side of Texas, that hurricane that hit. We were spared here. I had beautiful weather in my backyard, but it was scary for a couple of days. Courtney Fischer was all over it. And as we are about to bring her on, she's sassy, Raheel. She can be very mean, and she can also be very awesome. She's one of my favorites out there, Courtney, joining the show. Hello, Courtney.
What an intro.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
It's okay.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, all right. I thought there was going to be like fanfare and like, I'm great. Now that you're here, I'm even better. And there was none of that.
Courtney, welcome to the show. That's how we are. Sorry. Courtney, we're so excited. David's been he's like, dude, you're going to love Courtney. Courtney's the best. Courtney's the best. So you have to live up to this, all right?
I didn't say
he's not wrong. So here I am.
For the record, I didn't say you were the best. I said you were slightly above average and very likable. That's what I said. Slightly.
Man, it was a slow week for you, Courtney. Nothing going on.
Yeah, not too bad. Got about 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Hot meals, except the opposite of all of that. It was very busy, but no, I can't complain because I got to come home to a home after all of this. And obviously I was out in East Texas and Louisiana, and all those people, unfortunately, so many of them did not have homes to come home to. So it was a tough week for a lot of people. Yeah.
What was your week like? So let's recap this real quickly. We obviously got word that, look, there's 2 hurricanes, and then Laura was going to be the big threat. And luckily for us, as we mentioned, it did sway more east. So we didn't get anything from the storm, luckily, but so many of our neighbors in Louisiana and so many of our fellow Texans got hit really hard. So the timeline for you, were you just on hurricane coverage the whole week? And then we'll talk about the aftermath in a second.
Yeah, I think it was also really dicey too, because reporters, we are ready to go into the story and be there and be totally focused on that. But at the same time, you're like, oh my gosh, is everything going to be okay? when I leave my family and my home. So there was that time and that struggle of, we didn't know if Laura was going to come, or Marco, remember that? Gosh, that feels like forever ago, was going to come straight towards Houston. And then, you're nervous about that, but getting ready to pack and head out. Obviously, we had the good news that Houston was going to be spared. And so all focus was on what was going to happen at the Texas-Louisiana border. And so we actually were in Beaumont. That's kind of where the area that I focused on. I was in Beaumont. We had Jessica Willie out there and Ted Oberg. He was in Lake Charles. And then, when the storm started really narrowing, I was on the edge of it in Beaumont. We were just trying to get closer and closer to the border, while the storm was raging, which is the craziest thing to be like, do we drive through this or do we wait it out? And so, I worked from, I think that night, 10 p.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So it was like a good long 16-hour overnight.
So Courtney, how is that for you? So we in sports, when we have big events, they're usually fun, right? It's a World Series. And I remember the World Series, 8 straight days of 20-hour days. And in it, it's grueling, but it's exciting. A lot of times we're covering, you have your murder cases, you have, hurricanes, but as a reporter, you thrive in those moments, right?
Yeah. Gosh, I don't want to be like death and destruction is my forte, but I think that it gives you a different kind of adrenaline, especially because with weather coverage, people are really counting on you. And it gets into this hairy situation of people messaging you directly to say, hey, can you check on my Aunt Susan? This is her street address. Hey, do you know if the Shop and Save is still standing? Because my cousin Joe was working there when the hurricane hit. So I feel like people are reaching out directly to you to ask about family members. Weather coverage is really strange. It's unlike anything else. And so you don't really notice that you're working for 16 hours, 20 hours, because it's so important for that town and those specific people. And you kind of just, you want to help them. Well, like in sports, you're so excited to be able to show people what's going on in the field and all these great interviews. It's different. It's a different tone, but it's just as intense, I guess.
Yeah, it's just as important. For us, after Hurricane Harvey, we had to evacuate our house. So when ABC 13 was in our neighborhood and they're showing some of the images and video is comforting, okay, here's what's happening. I know this is exactly where I live or near it. So it serves such an important role. And I think people forget that at times when, we're watching the coverage and people on Twitter are going, oh, you guys are just fear mongering. Why are you showing images from X, Y, and Z? And you're like, well, to some people, that's really important. And just because you don't live there, it still serves a purpose.
Yeah, I think that was the number one thing. I had never covered a hurricane until I came to Texas. Covered earthquakes and tornadoes and lots of other natural disasters, but a hurricane was new, and that was really interesting. I didn't expect. I also think with the development of social media, especially Twitter, people really reach out to you directly and they ask for you, can you put my street address on camera just so I know what's going on? That will never not give me chills, especially if you know and you've been to that street and you have to tell the person yeah, those homes are all flooded. And I'm always going to tell the truth. It's just really, it's not nice.
Courtney, it's hard for me to give you props, so I'm going to give you a little props. Did you know that you were kind of an inspiration for this kind of show? Did you know that?
No.
Well,
I really didn't. Wait, why?
Kind of.
I didn't know that.
Well, kind of. What I mean by that.
Thanks for cluing me in, partner.
So you've done, is it 13 Unsolved, and you've done these cold case files that have given a digital imprint to your world and also a television component. And I believe that's what No Layups is for the sports department. We are a digital component, a lot more fun, right? We're not, you know, we're solving who can steal third, right? We're not solving the murder of 1986, this guy. That being said, that kind of thinking is the future of our industry. And you were, I think, at least you've been doing it for a couple of years now. So how did you pivot and realize I got to show a digital imprint and still bring it on the news side?
Yeah, so I think that it's right. Like people who, that's so interesting because in sports it is the same. If people are obsessed with a team or obsessed with a genre of news like cold cases, like they really just want more than the quick 2-minute, 3-minute story you can give them in a newscast. So it started with doing these like more in-depth stories and just pushing them online because a lot of times if people like cold cases or unsolved crime, you can't tell the whole story in 2 or 3 minutes. So it started with doing these like 17, 15-minute stories and just doing them for digital. And we were shocked how well they performed because I think it's all about finding like your niche audience, which is what a podcast does, right? Like I'm obsessed with podcasts. I listen to them all the time. And you seek them out and you really kind of develop that conversation with an audience that you can't really have on air. So it started with that. And then we did do a few podcasts where we did kind of more of behind the scenes, like ask your questions. And they took off. Yeah. So do you guys like it? Like it's been you're really continuous. Like I see you tweeting about these weekend podcasts. I like it.
I gotta ask you something off the subject. Did you say niche? Okay. Is it niche or is it niche? I'm more on the niche department.
Niche, yeah.
Niche. Isn't it niche? N-I-C-H-E? Niche.
So there's two camps about this. It's the David Nuno camp, which is niche.
It's definitely niche. In Texas,
and then Courtney Fischer's camp is niche.
So it's the wrong camp and then the right camp.
Right. So it depends. Like I grew up saying niche, and then when I was working in one of my jobs, one of the editors was like, and we have to find our niche. And I was like, I turned to my boss and I was like, hey, are you going to tell him he's mispronouncing it? And she's like, no. Do I need to tell you you've been mispronouncing it? I'm like, my God. I'm like, wait, I'm college educated. Hold on. You can't be telling me I'm mispronouncing something. I'm college educated. All right.
It's totally niche. It's
really?
It's for
both
sure.
Are acceptable.
People who say niche, like people who say niche are also the people who say vases. Like I say vase.
Oh.
What?
Okay,
you must say aunt.
Yeah, see, aunt or aunt? What do you say?
Wait, what is it now?
Aunt or aunt?
Oh, aunt.
See,
I can't hang with people like you. Do you drink tea like there's a little finger out or pinky
She's
or whatever?
Pinky's out for sure.
It's more. It's more sophisticated. I think is what we're getting at, David.
Courtney, where'd you grow up?
In Chicago, outside Chicago.
Come on,
sophisticated.
Y'all eat lasagna for pizza. Chill out. You can't be saying niche, Courtney. Okay.
You know what though? You guys don't. I love the food here, but you don't have good pizza here. So like, what would you know about good pizza? It's the one kind of food. Like Courtney. I literally have been on an epic search for this. If anyone can give me a good pizza place, please.
Courtney.
Niche.
Courtney. Just go get a lasagna. Go get a lasagna from the frozen section. What are you doing if you want pizza like Chicago?
I just think that has been my, I'm serious though. This is my PSA here. I'm glad I was invited on because it's really all about me. And that's what I need from the Houston audience because I cannot find a good pizza place here.
Okay. So, in the comments, help Courtney find your favorite pizza joint. Hey, on Hurricane Laura real quickly, I just want to show this image. Yes. I got this from your Twitter. So shout outs to your Twitter credit. This is incredible. Look at that. That is a gas station that just got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then the building. Wow.
I know. Look at all those windows. People say that building is downtown by the port. And people say that was like, what was the hurricane here that really tore through downtown? It was before my time. Ike, not Allison. Yeah. I was going to say Allison. It's Ike. But they said that's what downtown, the windows in Houston looked like. It's so crazy to see in person. My God.
I honestly have no memory anymore. I only remember Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Alicia when I was 6. Everything in between is just like hurricane.
Really? It just blends together. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does. I can't even remember. I was telling Raheel last week. I don't even remember the Texans' schedule last year, which I should. Like what I do for a living. Don't tell our bosses. Hey, Courtney, true or not true? I heard a rumor that Samika and I are in your top 2 of ABC 13 personalities. Is that a true statement? That's what I just got a message about that.
Was the message from Samika or?
Whoa.
Actually, I made it up just to see. I see you talking to Samika all the time. You guys are laughing and talking. And I try to get in
She's my
there
girl.
and like.
She's the best, isn't she? She's hilarious.
She's all right.
I would say that like 50% of that statement is true. So like
Sorry, Samika.
Samika's in the top, but
Top 10, right?
I don't want this to be like really awkward or anything. So
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, you don't want her to feel bad for being 2. I get it.
Who's your best on this show?
I mean, don't tell David, but like obviously, Raheel, you and I have got some great Twitter banter. I'm here for that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, you're big into home improvement, right?
So I'm big into the post home improvement part.
Okay.
I officially hate the during. We just finished a massive house renovation and I will never do it again.
Yeah, so you restored a house from 1912, right in the Heights?
We did, yes. Yeah. It was fun. There were times it was not fun and that I literally was like, what am I doing? This is the worst decision of my life. But I feel like this is what people say. Now, I don't have kids. People say home renovation is like having a child where you forget how awful it is. Mm-hmm. And that's why you have it another one or you do another renovation. So now that we're in the house, I'm like, maybe this wasn't, this is so great. I love this. Like, maybe we could flip another house. And like, my husband's looking at me like, are you on cocaine? Like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. We're never doing it again. So
that's crazy. As a home renovator and somebody that's interested in that, are you like, is Joanne and Chip your LeBron James? Are they so important to the industry or do y'all look down on them?
So like, not to be controversial. See, I feel like you're setting me up for failure. Everyone's going to like come at me on Twitter. I think what they've done is amazing. And I think they seem like amazing human beings. But Joanna, that's not my vibe. Like, that's not my style. That's not my vibe. Like, I'm in Target and I pass that shabby chic aisle, like just real fast. Like, I'm not stopping to pick up some candlesticks and coasters. Like, it's not for me, but it's for a lot of people. So that's cool.
I'm tweeting that right now. ABC 13 reporter Courtney Fischer
followed up with this. I don't know who they are. I know the names. You don't
know Joanne and Chip?
I mean, I've heard of like the people in Waco, right? That do like the home restoration.
And
like,
what they've done for Waco is crazy awesome. So
yeah. But if they walked in the room and said, "Hey, I'm Joe and Courtney," was it James?
No.
Yeah.
Joanna? James? Yeah, I'd be like, sorry.
Yo, you would love Chip. Chip is cool, man.
Yeah, man, he seems fun. I get it. Like, they have a thing going. She's like, I'm serious and have style. And he's like, I'm goofy and have a hammer. Like, it's a shtick. I got it. But, like, I don't know. I don't really watch it.
I don't watch shows. I don't watch reality shows unless it's on ABC and I'm working, of course, and then I turn it up really loud. But beyond that, the reality television that I watch is sports, and I'm good. I don't need to watch that.
But then we also watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. New season coming up soon. #ad.
Dude, I've not seen one episode of The Bachelor. Not one. Which people think is crazy. I know. But I do like reality TV, really bad TV, but I don't watch The Bachelor.
It is on. I think what Courtney's saying is I haven't missed an episode of The Bachelor or The Bachelor. I got you.
I can't wait for the next episode of.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be so much fun.
Is that the one with Ryan Seacrest? I'm not trying to be funny.
Wasn't there like a girl named Trisha who was the Bachelorette? Like the first, didn't someone get married in Vail?
all my seasons blend together. Okay, Courtney, that's the issue we all have. Is we love that show so much.
Just like hurricanes.
Yeah. Next season coming up soon. Available on ABC 13. #.
Hey, Raheel, she's got to leave in a second. She's got an appointment.
No, I actually moved it.
Oh, okay. So
I have an appointment now.
Yeah, now we don't have time for you, actually.
Hey, Raheel, you've got your 5 questions. Give them to Courtney.
All right, let's do it. It's the same 5 questions we ask all of our guests. So let's start this up. Number 1, what is one song you wish everybody would listen to at least once in their life?
I would say Blackbird by the Beatles. Such a good song.
Okay. Love
it. No clue what that song is.
David.
I'm sure if you played it, I'd be like, oh, Blackbird. Yeah.
Wait, for real though?
real
He doesn't
though.
know it.
I don't know what it is.
When was the
I grew-
last time you listened to a Beatles song, David?
Oh, the lonely people. I heard that recently with the Talib Kweli mix.
No, not a sample.
No,
The
I've heard
actual
that
song. Yeah, you can't use a sampled song and say it's a Beatles song.
I listened to Queen the other day. Okay, I don't.
Okay,
just
not the
listen-
question. Not the question.
I just don't know the name of songs. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's like saying, I'm asking you, when was the last time you watched Iron Man? And you go, well, I just watched Batman. No, you can't. I mean, I got the biggest,
Here's another
truest
fact
laugh
about
there.
me. That's not what we asked.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know the names of songs, even the people I like.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
the problem.
If it's not Bad Bunny or Dr. Dre, I'm out.
All right, let's go. Number 2. What's one thing you always have to have in your fridge?
Oh, spinach.
Whoa.
Good answer.
Okay.
Always.
Healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you take your spinach? Do you put it in your smoothies? Are you sauteing it? What?
All of the above. I have a spinach salad every day for lunch, and I when I make smoothies, it's always a green smoothie. And sometimes if I have extra spinach that's wilty, and my husband's like, "Throw it out," I'm like, "Yeah, it's good. Just like throw it in the pasta. Like I don't waste."
Okay.
No wasting.
I
Okay.
like that. Nuno's on board with that one. I like
I'm
that.
like
Yeah.
it.
All
I do
right.
it with my eggs every morning.
Oh,
Oh,
so
wow.
good. Yep.
Okay. What's one place you want to visit that you haven't yet?
Oh, that's a really good question. I
Unreal.
really want to go to Cape Town.
Courtney, just so you know, we have this unscientific scoring system. When you say good question, we get a point. So right now, Raheel's winning 1-0. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not going to ask any more questions, so I've lost. But I'm just
Dude.
letting you know.
You've
Thanks.
lost
That
every
was
single
a
episode.
genuine good question, though.
I'm pretty sure I tied it last week. Very sure. Pretty sure.
No.
Yeah.
I was up like 4-0 at one point.
I think I had 3 in
Wait,
a row.
why would you take the side of someone not saying good question? Wait, are you saying like if they don't say good question, you get a point, or whoever asks the question gets the good question point?
So yeah, if I ask a question, you say good question. Like, in fact, I really expected. I thought when I said that you were the inspiration for No Layups, and I said, how did that idea come? I
Not
really
a-
expected great question. And I was
Oh
looking
no,
at you
because
like
I get
this.
that question a lot,
Yeah,
but
no,
not the no lips part. People ask
Yeah.
why I did a podcast so long.
yeah. Well,
Dang.
Raheel's destroying me
Yo,
today.
Negative point on you for that one,
Okay.
David. You lose a point.
I don't know one Beatles song, and I'm a loser now. Thanks, guys.
Man.
God.
All right. Who's one person alive you want to have coffee with?
Okay, not to be like a total basic girl, but I just read a story about Lady Gaga today, and I was like, I would have coffee with her. Legit, thought about it.
Man, her musical talent is so underrated. Like she's a trained musician. People forget that.
I
And
know her
it's
voice is
incredible.
crazy,
Yeah.
and I want to be like, what's going on with like those early years with like the meat dress situation? Like, it's
Mhm.
not earth shattering stuff, but I want to have coffee with her, and I want to ask her about it.
Dude, Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name? Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
That movie, and that I think Bradley Cooper actually sings better than Gaga in that movie. That's just me, though. I'm sorry, Courtney, to upset you, but I think Bradley Cooper sings better.
Bradley Cooper, super talented as well.
Yep.
Super
No,
talented
he
as
does.
well.
I mean, he just
Rocket the
Wow.
raccoon. Come
you
on.
don't like Bradley Cooper?
yeah,
Courtney?
but he's like really okay. I was gonna say something controversial,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna say it.
Just
yeah,
say
don't
it.
say it.
Just
Don't
say
say
it.
it.
No, I think he's like generically. I think he's generically forgettable.
The guy,
Wow.
I think, got an Emmy and an
The-
Oscar.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
dude, the
Yeah.
actor who not
He played-
only
No, he didn't get an Oscar.
Yeah,
he did
and
win an
an
Oscar,
Emmy.
yeah,
And he played a raccoon in a movie.
Oh.
and became one of the best characters as a voice in the whole Marvel universe. And then he's like, you know what I'm gonna do to top all of this is dance on camera. Okay, what's up? And then I'm gonna sing as well.
Yeah. And he,
Oh,
did he
Oh, for
write that
Silver
movie?
Linings,
Yes.
he got the.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
I'm
like, he didn't get an Oscar for Star is Born. Okay, all right, fair.
But
Yeah, I'm pretty
that-
sure he won for Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
did. He did. Not
It-
for A Star is Born. He won.
And he
for
got an
Silver
Emmy,
Linings
right?
Playbook, yeah.
He got an Emmy as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Courtney,
Courtney,
forgettable.
you've lost a
can't
lot of points here.
Yo,
Goodness
you-
gracious.
Courtney
You
came
lost
in
the game.
attacking Joanna Gaines today and Bradley Cooper. I can't believe this. I
He's
cannot
a
believe
national
this.
treasure.
Yeah.
Good. That's for my superhero
Never
tribe.
invited back.
No, we'll bring you back.
Don't forget to watch Guardians of the Galaxy, available on Disney Plus. #.
Disney is a parent company of ABC 13.
Whoa. Thank you.
Loosely affiliated.
Yeah, loosely.
Do you not always? We always have to say that. So
I'm in sports. They don't pay attention. All right, Raheel.
Okay. I love this podcast. Okay, what's one app you want to delete from your phone, but you can't?
Oh.
That's a good question. Say it.
I was gonna say it.
You can't lead her there. I was giving you points, and then you lose a point. Now you're back to zero.
I felt so bad. I would. Oh, I wish I had my phone with me. There's always apps, and I'm like, oh, I want to delete that, but like sometimes I need it. I will tell you what. I would like to delete the Southwest app right now because I'm not traveling anywhere. Thanks, pandemic.
Okay. There you
Does
go.
it send you a lot of updates? I don't know if that's one I would get rid of.
No, I just when I see it on my screen, I'm just like sad. Like, oh, I miss you, Southwest app.
Yeah, I would think if it was giving you constant reminders, like $79.99 to Toledo, I'd be like, get rid of this. But it's just
all of my apps I get no notifications from. I would never, none.
David.
Of all the apps, that's the app?
Because
it makes me sad. It reminds me that we are not traveling right now. Very sad.
I didn't know Nuno had such an affinity for the Southwest app. I'm like, what is happening here?
Want to get away? Yeah, get away.
Hey man, I'm not joking. I'm gonna start booking my trips to Mexico because they're so cheap right now.
I know.
For next year when it's safe to travel, everything's good.
I know.
Yeah. That's
hey guys, not to make this about me, but I got a soccer game to get to, and you guys are gonna be happy about this. I've been doing my own haircuts since March, right? And the sides.
Really?
No
Nobody noticed.
This top is ridiculous. Look at this, bro. I just broed you. Look at this.
Yo, Nuno, did you just see the face she made? I think you missed that. Damn.
I have to rewind, DVR that. So my buddy, you know him, Chris, is going to come. And he's going to give the family a haircut here because we haven't gone to a salon, and I'm going to make sure that I sanitize his whole body when he walks in. But I'm getting a real haircut. It's no more David hair. So I'm pumped.
Nice. There you go.
I'm just gonna one more time. Can we just see how long is it? Oh,
Bro,
it's really long.
Really long.
A lot of luck.
Looks like Yuli Gurriel there. Do the pina.
Man, I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh wow.
How does it do that by itself?
Yo.
How much product do you have in there?
I didn't put any today. I put so many on Monday that it's still there.
David Nuno looks like Poppy from Trolls.
Fact. I call my dad Poppy. Fact. How about that?
No, not Poppy.
Oh,
Poppy.
sorry.
Yeah. Did you not have your kids not watched Trolls?
They have. This is a fact. Any movie after 9:00 that is not like a Batman, I fall asleep every time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's not like you have a full-time job and 70,000 children. That's weird.
Ooh.
That was a little rude the way she said that.
Are you just exhausted by the end of the night? No, I mean like you're allowed to fall asleep.
If I'm not anchoring, I'm asleep by 10 o'clock. There's no doubt. Well, guys, I gotta go. Courtney, you're one of my top 10 favorite people at the station doing news. Okay, without a doubt. Maybe top 12. How many do we have? 12, 14? You're in the mix.
Love it. Hey, don't forget to watch.
I was gonna say, out of the 12, you're definitely one that I like, kind of 12 people. Thanks.
True story. I'm one of your top 4 sports guys at 13.
Nice.
It's
you
true.
got to put him in there.
Yeah.
You got to put him in there. Hey, tonight on ABC 13, don't forget, Black Panther will be shown without any commercials. There's going to be a tribute to Chadwick Boseman as well. Remember, if you're watching this show on Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is, don't forget to, give people their flowers while they're alive. It's a sentiment that we always hear, but for real, just seeing the outpouring of love on Friday night and some of the great stories that made Chadwick, man, it was so beautiful to see. I wish we could have done this when he was alive. Just be sure to point out good stories, not only for celebrities, but people in your lives, man. Let them know. Share these great moments now so we can all appreciate it while they're here.
Yeah, Absolutely. And that goes along the lines, just really quickly, too, of the people who died in and after Hurricane Laura. Yep. Same thing, right? Like, you just want to make sure to tell everyone that you love them when you get the chance.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much.
Great words.
Great way to end the show. Courtney, don't be a stranger. Come back on the show again. David, when Courtney comes, you can maybe sit out that episode so there's not like this like heated tension there where you guys are fighting the whole time. It'd be cool.
It's really ridiculous how much I owned her today. Like, really.
All the good questions that you asked. I'm not kidding. Those are some good questions, Raheel.
I know. You know what? That's why they're the same 5 questions. Yeah.
Voss. Who says Voss?
All right, David, good luck. Tell your kids good luck in their soccer match. Courtney, thank you so much. We'll see you around, all right?
Okay, sounds good.